Starting to the top left of the map, we have our Terran player for the Prime team, who already secured himself a spot in Codes. He is
Maru Prime.
Maru, one of our youngest players, and he's up against a triple GSL champion. To the bottom right in the blue, it's MJ Duck, otherwise known as
LGIM NesTea.
We currently have the potential for a three-way tie for third place. This would happen if if Maru takes this game against NesTea, and after this match, if then Hero wins his own game, then suddenly we would be in a situation where we have a three-way tie for third place. So just keep that in mind while we are going into this game. The Codes spots have been determined. We have two Terran players advancing to Codes, Fantasy and Maru, but we are still playing the rest of the matches to find out who would be third place in case we have a wildcard group.
This is a crazy game, by the way. I know we were confirming stats, but while you were doing that, we have one base gas from NesTea versus 2x proxy from Maru. So this is probably going to be advantage NesTea.
Yeah.
Like, he's going to own this. He's going to not only hold this, but then have speed and or banelings to finish Maru off. This is going to be terrible for Maru.
Yeah, it's not going to be pretty. This should be one of the builds where Maru is just going to get annihilated. As soon as speed kicks in, if you go for such a build, you'll know that you are in the perfect position. Oh.
And NesTea sees the SCV coming from that direction. Now he knows it's a proxy. He doesn't even have to check any further. His pool is done. Starts Queen, 2 lings. He'll start the rest of his lings as soon as possible.
We should immediately see the speed upgrade being started. There it is. As soon as you start with a 14-14, you know that once the pool is done, you have 100 gas socket, you can start speed right away.
And Maru instantly cancels second barracks and rallies the rest of his Marines home because he knows he's got to not only get a command center up, but defend it.
Exactly. He's now in a position where he knows, okay, my double barracks opening will do nothing against him. He will be able to crush me if I go for a double barracks.
Smart decision by Maru, very split-second decision.
I'm more interested to see what exactly NesTea is going to do, because NesTea has a couple of options. He can just go into a macro game, or he can go back into gas and start to go into a baneling aggression.
Yeah, looks like he's going to make a hatch. Or at least fake it. There's the hatch. He's not mining any more gas, so it seems very real. He's going to just continue.
He has 68, so he can start the baneling nest and then go into mining gas again. That would work out for him.
Yeah, he could do it on 2 base.
Maru knows this, of course. This is the reason why we see this double barracks play right next to the command center to block the high ground. So that's exactly what he's trying to do. Trying to make sure that there's not only supply depot, because with a supply depot you only need 4 banelings to take it down.
Yeah, not too bad. He sees the hatchery, which is really important, and he's actually barely not going to see there's no drones and gas. That was a close call. Nice attempt there. Maru's supply block for just a moment here. As soon as the command center finishes, he will be able to produce again. And he goes into a 3rd command center. Smart choice, but it's not going to work out as easily for him if NesTea decides to put the drones back in gas and go for aggression like you were talking about.
This is going to shape up to be a very interesting match now. Double base for both of them. Yeah, the Zerglings run in, and NesTea at this point is really happy that he didn't decide to go for a baneling bust. He could have been able to pull it off, but it's really tricky if you're up against such a tight wall. So that is a very, very strong one that Maru has up there. But he will be a little bit reluctant to put the command center onto the low ground. That's why we also see him now with the double gas and also the additional command center. He wants to go for his SCV production first, and then when he has the units ready, then he will move down.
Yeah. Lair is on the way for NesTea. He's teching up here pretty quick, getting into the second gas. I feel like we are going to see, well, this is going to be a short-lived one. Cancels there. I feel like we're going to see potentially 2 base infestors. I don't think we're going to see mutas given what Maru is open here. He's getting now into the 3rd and 4th gas though.
I actually think that he's more likely going into a mutalist build here. The reason being is like the infestors are one of the things that can give you a lot of safety, but he doesn't need to be very safe against this. He knows that Maru will not be in a position where he can really do too much. Oh, well, Maru could go into an aggressive play right now, but it's very unlikely that he really tries to do it after his opening failed. So NesTea is already in a good spot, and he could try to run with this advantage. But we'll find out now. The Lair tick is done, and there's the Spire.
know, Maru does have Stim on the way. It's not going to be done in time when the Muse arrive, most likely. And his Marine count is decent. This is going to give NesTea map control where he can easily take a third and a fourth.
The problem for him really is that his entire take is going to be so much later. For Maru, that is. Usually what you try to do when you go for this attack, at least you do some damage, you know? It's not like you're completely... I mean, in this case, Maru went for earlier barracks than he usually would, sacrificing economy because he knows he can put a lot of pressure on a NesTea, and even if NesTea holds it, he usually does a little bit of damage. As it is, he started with the earlier barracks, sacrificed his economy, didn't do anything, had to go back. NesTea could still get his expansion at a faster time, had his tech already done. So this is now a timing when NesTea knows that whatever he does, the tech for Maru will be significantly delayed. He could go for a Mutaling Baneling attack and spot with the Mutalings first if there are already siege tanks, but at this rate, Maru is very unlikely to have a strong defense.
Yeah, he just saw everything with his Overseer, so he knows exactly how many Marines Maru has, he knows the tech level, he knows the factory was on the way. He's making 6 Muse, he has Baneling speed on the way. It's possible we see a big, very big Baneling speed Baneling Muta attack against Maru here, but it's more likely he just uses this to defend.
It's unlikely that he's going to use it to go for an all-in strategy. He will get a third base as soon as the rocks are gone, but still will try to execute as much pressure as possible. The idea for him has to be to delay a third base for his opponent for as long as he can. He's going into a lot of Zerglings.
Yeah.
He might actually just try to do it. I would be surprised though.
You know, he's just made way too many Zerglings to not be. It's weird, but that's why it's good, because Maru's not going to expect something like this.
It's not really that weird. I mean, I talked about it just a few minutes ago. It's like, he knows that there are no siege tanks, so he can do a lot here. I just expected NesTea to be one of those players that tries to play it a little bit safer and at least take the third base. Then put the aggression on, but with a third base behind it. It's not going to be as strong, but you can still do damage, and you have a backup plan in case it fails.
Force system here. Remember, these Marines have no combat shields, and they won't. They won't have +1 either. It's almost done, but not quite. These Marines, a lot of them on low hit points. Here comes the attack. Speed Banes. He's been seen. And Maru has got to get up that ramp and eats the wall if he can. Nice splitting there. He has to get the wall. It's so important.
Yeah,
good split.
Doesn't matter. There are not enough Marines to deal with the Mutalists anymore. 7 Mutalists, 5 Marines, that's all that he has. This should now end very, very fast. If NesTea controls it well, but I don't think that he will make a mistake here.
Combat Shields gets cancelled. There's way too many Lings here for Maru to handle. Banelings get morphed in the main. The SCVs, they can't kill Mutas.
Yeah, there are no siege tanks, as pointed out. The tech is too late, and without the siege tanks holding against the Baneling aggression is a bit too much. No third base for NesTea after all. He takes the risk, and he's being rewarded.
GG. Maru also took a risk. He was trying to get double E-base, get all of his upgrades out, get medevacs, and to take the third command center. It was too much. He could not hold NesTea's aggression.
So now we are in a situation where Hero is... if I see this correctly, Hero is actually out. Yeah, Hero has no chances of getting third place anymore. The only 2 players that could get third place in this group are NesTea and Keen. It all depends on the next, our last match. So if the game is between Keen and Hero, if Keen wins the game, then he is the one who takes the third place in the group, because he was successful, if I'm not mistaken, against NesTea earlier. Let me just confirm this. Yes, he won the match against NesTea. And if Hero wins the match, then NesTea is the one who is going to take third place, and therefore will be able to play in a potential wildcard group. We still don't know. There's no final decision on if we have one yet, but if that's the case...
They're trying to decide if they're giving a seed to somebody, most likely. The information isn't exactly revealed to everyone, but it's being discussed right now, and that's why we're doing this. Just wanted to give you guys the heads up on that. But the map that we go into for this final match is Cloud Kingdom, and Hero has had a rough time in this group. Keen looked really strong in his previous match.
Hero so far has been the punching bag.
Yes.
He has been slapped around the entire group. Not really what I expected coming into the group.
I didn't expect it either, especially considering we talked to him earlier today. He seemed like his condition was good.
Yeah, the thing is, I looked at his statistics, and also, especially since it's a group that's dominated by Terrans, I looked at it and was like, well, Hero had a lot of problems against Terran recently. But I looked at it and was like, but it's Hero, you know, he will pull through somehow. He will be able to make this work. But it turns out he couldn't. Now he's out, for sure. He does not only get in, not not only does he not get into Kodes, but he also doesn't get a chance to go into a potential wildcard group. He can only make sure that NesTea gets into a third place position and not Keen. In the next game, our last game of the early group here, the GSL up and downs. Color move.